Version 1. Girls' Time. Hold up, hold up. Before Beyoncé became the queen we all know and worship, she was just a 9-year-old girl with a huge dream in Houston, Texas. Picture this. Little Beyoncé Giselle Knowles stepping onto tiny stages with Girls' Time, a name that would soon become legendary for all the right reasons. But here's where it gets wild. In 1992, Girls' Time appeared on Star Search. You know, that massive TV talent show that could make or break young dreams. And guess what? They lost. Can you believe it? The future Queen Bee actually got defeated on national television. But here's the plot twist that gives me chills every single time. That loss became her rocket fuel. Matthew Knowles, Beyoncé's father, saw something incredible in his daughter's eyes after that defeat. Instead of giving up, he stepped up as their manager and said, "We're just getting started." Can you imagine the determination burning in young Beyoncé's heart? Every small venue in Texas became her training ground. Every local talent show became her battlefield. This wasn't just practice, this was destiny in the making. While other kids were playing with toys, Beyoncé was mastering her craft, developing that legendary stage presence that would later make millions of people lose their minds. The Girls' Time era wasn't about winning, it was about becoming. Every note she hit, every move she made, every moment of doubt she conquered was building the foundation for the empire that was coming. Who knew that this little girl from Houston would grow up to break every record imaginable? Version 2. Destiny's Child era. Boom! Enter the era that changed everything. Girls' Time evolved into something absolutely unstoppable. Destiny's Child. Can you feel that energy shift? Because the music world was about to get hit by a hurricane named Beyoncé, Kelly Rowland, and Michelle Williams. This wasn't just a name change. This was a revolution. Say My Name, Survivor, Bootylicious. These weren't just songs. They were anthems that had the entire world singing along. And guess who was leading the charge? That's right. Our girl Beyoncé was stepping into her role as the ultimate frontwoman, commanding every stage like she was born for it. But here's what gets me pumped every single time. This trio wasn't just making music, they were making history. Their harmonies were so tight, their choreography so sharp, and their style so iconic that other girl groups could only dream of reaching their level. Beyoncé's voice was becoming that powerhouse we know today, hitting notes that gave everyone goosebumps. The success was insane. Albums flying off the shelves, sold-out tours, and fans screaming their names worldwide. But you know what? This was just Beyoncé flexing her muscles, showing the world what she was capable of. Every performance was a masterclass, every song a stepping stone to something even bigger. Little did we know, this incredible run was preparing Queen Bee for her next move, going solo and conquering the entire universe. Version 3. Dangerously in Love. Oh my gosh, here we go. The moment that literally shook the music industry to its core. Beyoncé said, "I'm going solo," and dropped Dangerously in Love like a musical bomb that exploded across every radio station on the planet. Crazy in Love featuring Jay-Z wasn't just a song, it was a declaration of war against every other artist trying to claim the throne. That horn sample, those vocals, that attitude. Beyoncé served us pure fire, and we were all here for it. The entire world stopped what they were doing just to witness the birth of a solo superstar. But wait, it gets better. This album didn't just sell, it dominated. We're talking 11 million copies worldwide and 5 Grammy Awards, including Best Contemporary R&B Album. Baby Boy, Me, Myself and I, Naughty Girl. Each single was like another victory lap around the competition. Here's what absolutely blows my mind. Beyoncé took everything she learned from Destiny's Child and multiplied it by 1,000. Her sensuality, her confidence, her vocal acrobatics, everything was turned up to the max. She wasn't just leaving the group behind, she was launching herself into the stratosphere. This era proved one thing beyond any doubt. Beyoncé Knowles was destined to be the queen of music, and Dangerously in Love was just her coronation ceremony. The solo dynasty had officially begun. Version 4, Bide and Sasha Fierce. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the era where Beyoncé didn't just raise the bar, she launched it into outer space. We're talking about the double whammy that gave us Bide and I Am Sasha Fierce. Two albums that basically said, yeah, I'm not just good, I'm legendary. First came Bide in 2006, and whoa! Beyoncé came back swinging harder than ever. But then, plot twist alert, she introduced us to Sasha Fierce in 2008. This wasn't just an alter ego, this was Beyoncé unleashing her most fearless, most powerful side. One minute she's vulnerable Beyoncé, the next she's fierce as lightning Sasha. Talk about range. Single Ladies, Halo, If I Were a Boy. These weren't just hits, they were cultural phenomena. Single Ladies had everyone throwing up their hands and demanding rings. And don't even get me started on that iconic choreography. Those moves are still being copied today. But here's what makes this era absolutely electric. Beyoncé was discovering her power as more than just an entertainer. She was becoming a voice for women everywhere, serving empowerment anthems that had girls feeling like they could conquer the world. The duality between vulnerable and fierce created this incredible artistic complexity that nobody else could touch. This era didn't just establish Beyoncé as a superstar, it carved her name into the Hall of Fame as one of the greatest entertainers of all time. Version 5, 4 and self-titled. Hold Everything. This is where Beyoncé said, you know what? I'm not just gonna be great, I'm going to revolutionize how music is made and sold. Welcome to the era of artistic genius and industry-breaking moves. 4 dropped in 2011, and it was like Beyoncé opened her diary and sang her soul to us. This wasn't just an album, it was pure vocal artistry. She took complete creative control and showed us what happens when Queen Bee gets to paint with all the colors. Every note was intentional, every melody was crafted to perfection. But then, December 13th, 2013, Beyoncé literally broke the internet before breaking the internet was even a thing. She dropped her self-titled visual album with zero warning. No promo, no singles, no nothing, just BAM! Surprise, here's my masterpiece. The music industry was like, wait, you can do that? This era was revolutionary. Every song came with its own mini-movie, turning music videos into art films. Beyoncé wasn't just releasing songs, she was creating experiences. She proved that artists could control their own narrative and connect directly with fans without playing by the old rules. This phase showed us that Beyoncé wasn't just a performer. She was a visionary who could redefine how the entire music business operates. She wasn't following trends, she was creating them. Version 6, Lemonade Era. Stop everything. This is the moment Beyoncé transcended from superstar to cultural icon and changed music forever. Lemonade wasn't just an album. It was a masterpiece that had the entire world holding its breath. When life gave Beyoncé lemons, she made the most powerful artistic statement of the 21st century. This visual album took us on an emotional roller coaster through betrayal, anger, forgiveness, and redemption. Every frame was cinema, every lyric was poetry, every note was pure emotion. But here's where it gets mind-blowing. Beyoncé collaborated with Jack White, Kendrick Lamar, James Blake, and The Weeknd, creating this incredible sonic journey that jumped genres like it was hopscotch. From country to rock to hip-hop to R&B, Queen Bee conquered every style. Formation became more than a song. It became a movement. Beyoncé was celebrating Black culture, challenging social structures, and serving looks that had everyone's jaws on the floor. This wasn't just entertainment. This was art with a capital A. Lemonade proved that Beyoncé wasn't just making music. She was documenting history, creating cultural conversations, and showing the world what happens when raw talent meets fearless authenticity. This era didn't just break records, it broke barriers and opened doors for artistic expression that we're still feeling today. This was Beyoncé at her most vulnerable and her most powerful. Version 7, Renaissance Era. Get ready to dance because Queen Bee just threw the party of the century. After 6 years of anticipation, Beyoncé returned with Renaissance and said, "Y'all ready to celebrate?" This album was pure joy wrapped in disco balls and served with a side of fierce. Renaissance was Beyoncé's love letter to dance music, house beats, and the ballroom culture that shaped generations. She took us to church, the disco church where everyone's invited and the only rule is to feel the music. From classic disco vibes to futuristic electronic sounds, this album was a time machine that somehow felt completely modern. But here's what made this era absolutely electric. The Renaissance World Tour. We're talking about a spectacle that broke box office records and left fans literally speechless. Every night was a celebration of freedom, art, and the power of music to unite people. The production was so incredible that other artists are still trying to figure out how she did it. This era showed Beyoncé at her most free and experimental. She was playing with sounds, celebrating her sexuality, and creating space for everyone to express themselves authentically. The album was a reminder that music should make you move, make you feel, and most importantly, make you remember why you fell in love with music in the first place. Renaissance proved that even after 20 plus years, Beyoncé could still surprise us and create something completely fresh while honoring musical history. Version 8, Cowboy Carter and Legacy. Y'all, we have reached the ultimate plot twist. Beyoncé just said, "Hold my crown while I conquer country music too," and dropped Cowboy Carter like she was born in Nashville. This is the era where Queen Bee proved that talent knows no boundaries. Can we talk about the audacity? After dominating R&B, pop, hip-hop, and dance music, Beyoncé decided to tip her hat and show the world that she can make country music sound like it was waiting for her all along. This isn't just genre hopping. This is artistic mastery at its finest. But here's the moment that gives me chills every single time. Beyoncé now holds the record for most Grammy Awards in history with 32 wins. 32! She didn't just break the record, she obliterated it. From that little girl in Houston to the most awarded artist of all time, talk about a journey. This final era represents something incredible, a legacy that spans decades, genres, and generations. Beyoncé isn't just an artist anymore. She's an institution. She's influenced fashion, activism, female empowerment, and redefined what it means to be a complete entertainer. From Girls' Tyme to global icon, from Destiny's Child to Destiny Fulfilled, Beyoncé's evolution proves that with talent, determination, and fearless creativity, you can literally change the world. She didn't just become the queen of music. She became a force of nature that will inspire artists for generations to come. Which of these 8 incredible eras of Beyoncé touched your soul the most? Drop your favorite version in the comments and let us know which artist should get the Version Vault treatment next.